All right. Good evening and welcome to the Chicago Communicator News Media remote television broadcast this evening. We're going to be discussing what's going on with COVID-19, and we're going to then talk to Dr. Sunni about natural remedies for viral infections, and then we're going to look at what CDC has to say about the kind of face mask we should be wearing. So I want to introduce everybody to the show. We have Mr. Anthony Travis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We have Dr. Sunni. Welcome to the show. All right. And we have Mr. Odie. How are you, Odie Payne? Welcome to the show.
Very good. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. So now this is a discussion. So you guys be sure to jump on in where you see fit to do so. I'm looking at what Dr. Fucci says. He's worried about what the coronavirus case numbers will be 3 weeks after Thanksgiving. He's worried that people are going to get together, these families, friends, and forget all about the face masks and the 6 feet social distancing. What say you? How do you think this upcoming holiday is going to fare, or the people are going to fare as a result of this?
Doing the things that we should do collectively to really get rid of it. Just watching people die is not enough to end it. You have to trace its origin, make sure those people stay quarantined, and then give the virus a chance to leave. We're not giving it a chance to leave because you do have some people saying, well, I don't want to wear the mask. I don't want to do this. I don't want that.
Online. Yes, I'm online. I'm on the air.
We do know that you need to be able to breathe oxygen. And somebody even called the mask a facial diaper, because what's happening is, you're breathing out toxins, but then you breathe those same toxins back in your lungs if you don't go somewhere where you can be in solitude and breathe. There's no law against going out in nature, taking a walk in the park, breathing in some fresh air every day. You have to do that because you have to in your lungs. You have to do things that make you healthy, not just be afraid of the sickness. And you have a lot of people who are living unhealthy lives, and it's catching up to them now. The smokers, the drinkers, the people who've already broken their bodies down. And now if you get the virus, you don't have anything to fight with. So now is a good time to get health conscious. Now is a good time to get serious about eating right, eating good, healthy foods that are not processed, healthy foods, fruits and vegetables. Now's the time to do all that. If you really are serious about not dying, rather than just being paranoid and sitting in the house and scared of everybody, take a walk, breathe some air. Do not have a mask on when you're by yourself out in the air because you need to breathe. Go around some trees. Animals are not, hey, you see any dogs or cats with masks? No. So there's everybody else in nature is handling this. Why are human beings not able to overcome this? We got to look at ourselves, our lifestyle, what we're doing, how we're polluting our own bodies, the reason why we can't face and overcome a virus. Now, most people do actually survive it, but there are a whole lot of people who don't because they've already abused their bodies, and so they don't have a strong immune system. Now's the time to build one and do the things that are healthy will keep it strong, and then we don't have to live in fear. We can live.
All right. Well, now I thought that was a very good response to the question. What say you, Dr. Sunni?
She gave me a great platform. I know the sister know all about what we know, okay? And our respect to the brother who has had the challenge. But one thing he said, he just finished a bout of handling, his body had to deal with cancer. He had to have those treatments. It kills our immune system. Those treatments do. Okay. They don't send you home with any instructions how to restructure, regenerate, rejuvenate our bodies. That's like when you go to the hospital for the quote unquote virus, and then they send you home and say, go quarantine with no instructions. Yeah. Don't fortify your body with vitamin C or, some of the things that the resources offer us. No elderberry, no burdock to clean us up. No, all those types of things that we should be talking about more readily and more rapidly than talking about all the folks dying.
Yes.
And we have a different conversation. They say what you think about will change when you stop talking about the things that this is how they put it. Stop talking about the problem. Let's talk about the solutions.
Come on now.
We already know that there's a virus. First of all, like the sister said, where was this original thing coming from? Who passed it on to us? Just like they did with us with the HIV and the whole syphilis thing when they did the clinical trials down in Tuskegee, all these different places. In 1920, when the influenza was a pandemic, okay, how come we all ain't dead from that? I had a sister lady, she said, I'm 100 years old. I lived through the influenza, but she said it was a lot of misinformation. And so a lot of my friends did not make it because they don't tell us the truth about, first of all, who we are. We're physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental. Okay, we just looking at everything from the physical standpoint, and then we're waiting like little robots for a vaccine that ain't been tested on nobody. Ooh. They want us to run and do some clinical trials. I got a newspaper right in the back room here where they said it would be a disparity if African Americans wouldn't allow us to use them for the clinical trials.
Right.
Excuse me? Because we the ones suffering the most. That's because we the ones with the greatest number of heart issues, the greatest number of diabetes, the greatest number of cancer, lung, prostate, breast. We're the great numbers because our health is not up to snuff, because we're not talking and teaching and educating people how to take care of their bodies. If you didn't know, then we want you to know. And if you did know and you disregarded it, shame on you.
Shame on you.
So now it's time to fortify your immune. God would not give us an immune system if it's not going to work.
Right.
He would not put and built in you 13, but 12 different systems if they were not going to work, and he did not give you the resources for the things that he embedded in us to make us a human on this planet.
Come on now.
Okay. So the natural resources, like the scriptures and any other holy book that has some sound principles, would tell you, go to my resources. I provided them for you before I even encased you in a body.
Come on now.
The leaves and the trees and the fruit thereof is medicine and food for us, not food for less.
Come on now. Whoa. Odie, don't you hear some young blood up in here talking?
But Dr. Sunni mentioned burdock. Do you know you will see burdock plants growing in all these vacant lots that nobody? It is plentiful. Mother Nature is giving us the remedy.
Dandelion. You can go to one of the vacant lots and find a bunch of dandelion.
Yes.
Dandelion roots. I knew a brother that lived on 83rd and Justine, and it was a vacant lot across the street. He used to take and grow beans over there, and then he grew the dandelion, and he would make pots of beans, fresh beans from out the vacant lot.
Wow.
And support, because that's a good protein, right?
Yeah.
And he would support the whole. People were sitting like a food line at front of his house, waiting for them beans.
Wow.
Okay, the brother. We can take these lands over, these vacant lands that they belong to us anyway, and then restore our health throughout the community.
Yes.
We need to start growing our own stuff. You got the little stuff I think it's arrowgarden.com or something. You can grow your own sprouts and this and that. Those are good sources of protein. The virus, I'm a functional medicine practitioner as well as a child of God that study what we're supposed to be doing as a child of God, number one.
Yes.
Okay. So what you could do is begin to replenish the earth with the right kind of stuff and take our land back, and then begin to offer that to the people in the community. Go back and let's do this thing over again. This is the opportunity to do this thing right and educate individuals. This is wealth transfer time. It's time to take over and take it by force.
Come on now. Come on.
And begin to restore ourselves and redo our thinking. There's a science, epigenetics, quantum physics right now. And some of the medical doctors that used to teach medicine in the old way, in the way that don't work, when they adopted it from the European country and brought it over here.
Right.
The indigenous people was already doing things with the soil and re-allowing the soil to give us what we need or what have you. They started planting the wrong seeds and start putting all these genetic memories inside of food. Now we walking around raw,
GMO food.
Crazy robots, okay? Young people especially, okay? We can start doing some things and restore your gut tissue and your brain and your heart during the embryology stage. When that sperm and egg hit, a neural plate was created, and out of that neural plate came gut tissue, heart, and brain. It's a threesome, okay? The triune. And then what happens, that gut tissue was planted with a lot of immune cells and nerve tissue at the same time. So you can continue to communicate with the brain so that the gut and the brain could start, hey, taking care of the whole body vessel.
Right.
But then if it's full of stuff, I told her, I was on Dr. Ron's last night, if it's full of crap and poo-poo,
then it's full of crap.
And how can the immune system, which is 65% of that tissue is in your gut, how can it activate itself if it's piled up with crap?
Yeah.
It's like if somebody came in here and took a bulldozer full of boo-boo and dumped it in here, and I'm trying to get through the crap. That's how your immune tissue is trying to get through the colon. Yeah. And then when we have these different regimens that the other side gives us and burns up everything, like the treatments that you had, my brother, they burned up your good stuff, and then they didn't tell you how to replenish it. And then if you were exposed to a virus, it could have been the flu. It could have killed you.
Yeah.
Okay, because you didn't have enough fortification in your gut and the relationship with the gut to the heart and from the heart to the brain in order to continue the rejuvenating process. Every cell, 100 trillion of them, has what they call stem cell relationship to redevelop into a brand new one, but it has to use the tools. I cannot rebuild a house with some rusty nails and halfway, broke up wood that's full of termites and all of that, and think I'm gonna build a good house.
Right.
And this is a house.
Yeah.
And we gotta fortify it. We gotta do something. We gotta drink good, clean water. We gotta be also finding out where is the beginning of this source of poison that came into our community. The sister said it very clearly.
Yeah.
Where did this start? What's the originator? Who's the originator? God don't put this kind of stuff on his people. Psalm 91 all the way to verse 15 said that pestilence and plagues and everything could come if I am planted like I should be planted, like a plant, and also I'm understanding my spiritual awareness. Then that stuff can walk all past me. I'm not gonna get nothing. 1,000 can fall by my side, 10,000, but not me.
Right.
That's
So that seed of the presence of the Almighty is in me, and nothing is more powerful than that. Period.
Come on. But see, you know that. Do others know that? Do they understand that?
Everybody lives by choices, and everybody lives by the experiences that they've been surrounded by. So the TV, turn it on long enough, you're going to see 1,900 commercials on stuff to go get. A multipacaside bread up. And I get fired up.
Well, you was fired up.
I'm going to shut up, okay?
What she's saying, though, makes a lot of sense, because that's why we started Pandemic Farms this year. And pandemic stands for producing agricultural nourishment, developing economies, making independent communities.
Whoa.
What we did is we examined what's growing in these vacant lots and did the research and found out which plants are medicinal, which are nutritional, how do you prepare them? And we actually demonstrated. We had an online class 3 times a week from the beginning of the year all the way to the end of the end of October. And we discovered, like she was talking about, the dandelions, the burdock, the clover, all kinds of things that are growing freely. And so next spring, first we're going to harvest all of these native plants. We don't call them weeds anymore because they're just like the native people. They are
indigenous
to the land, and they belong there, and they make it better. So indigenous plants.
Yes.
We're going to first harvest them and make teas out of them, make greens out of them.
Oh, wonderful.
And give people good health and give them natural things that Mother Earth is giving us to replenish our bodies. Okay. And we're working with Beacon Light Ministries that constantly does food distribution and freely helps people who are food insecure and struggling. Well, we're giving them what the earth is giving us for free, and we're developing the labeling where we can list all the various means that these things are used, because the indigenous people have known these things. They have, and I've just been so amazed at what I've learned, because we pick a plant and there's an app on you. There's an app you can get on your iPad, cell phone, called Picture This, and you take a picture of the plant and it will give you the biological name, uses, its origins. It'll run the whole thing down.
Wow.
And then you can go and research how to prepare various dishes with it. So we've been online showing people how to make all kinds of things.
Oh, that's wonderful, Naima.
Weeds and throwing them away and spraying pesticides. So we demonstrated how to grow crops without using any pesticides, because there are natural plants that actually act as barriers, natural barriers to invaders that you can use. So you don't have to spray anything in the ground, anything, and grow healthy plants. So we're teaching this so that we can show our young people that the earth is already feeding you. If every store closed tomorrow, we got enough food in these vacant lots to feed us, and we would never starve. We just need to
know. That's wonderful.
The ocean, the Klamath Lake and other oceans provide things like the blue-green algae and spirulina and things like that grow underwater. We have that; those are proteins that will rebuild your cells. Viruses attach to the cells and rob you of protein. So everybody think protein means a ribeye steak. No, it does not. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it is your sprouts that comes from nuts and seeds and beans, and then you have your spirulina and your blue greens and your the kamut and things like that give your body the natural proteins and recoat your cells and the membranes around the cell so that nothing will come. That's why the scripture says that nothing will come nigh me. It wasn't just talking about it from a spiritual standpoint, but that's where it starts. So I got angels guarded around my house. Let a Negro come up to my door. He think there ain't nothing about it, but walk up close and they gonna manifest themselves into a big old black nigga. Get away from this door. Angels can do that. They can manifest into a physical body. And they be like, did you see that? Did you see that big nigga at the door? Mm-hmm. That's correct. That's right. That's right. And they're going to step it off and go somewhere else. But around my cells, my tissues, there's also a way that nothing will come now. So you want the good protein. You want to feed the system, not this excessive sugars that everything got in it, boxes and bags and stuff that's grown live that will give you the type of fuel for your mitochondria, which is an independent bacteria. Mitochondria lived before it became part of a human cell.
Wow.
It was an independent bacteria. Yeah. So it knows how to handle it. Okay. But most people don't know that. If you don't study nothing, you don't know nothing. Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Come on, man.
So it joined up and teamed up with the cell and everything that goes in the cell, and it is the manufacturing of fuel to keep you going energetically. You do not need Starbucks, the line long. You do not need, Master energy drink and Red Bull and all that other crap.
All you
need to know what God offered us.
Yep.
And go to it. Continue to manufacture it by going to the soil that it offers it. Yep. Okay. Use cinnamon. Use cloves. Yeah. Cloves has the highest ORAC, which is oxygen radical absorption capacity, which means that it can absorb and take away the impurities and give you enough oxygen. Okay, like she said, taking in the oxygen from the trees and giving them the carbon dioxide to continue to exchange. This stuff you learn in school.
Yeah.
Science class, 6th grade, 5th grade.
You were paying attention,
If they
this ain't nothing that somebody thought, the professor woo-woo. No, in the grade books. It's in there. Okay. I've been teaching for 43 years.
Oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide.
Okay. The trees are waiting for us to give them in exchange.
Yeah.
We shortchanging them.
Yeah.
All right.
Go out and breathe.
It draws down the precipitation so that it can rain down and clear the air of stuff.
Come
It
on
gives
now.
you the ozone and clean it up.
Odie,
And you can
Odie,
create that
Odie.
same environment inside your house. There's certain devices. NASA got a bunch of devices we can bring into our house until we get it right, and then begin to change our community, just like the sister said.
What about you, Anthony?
Well, both of these sisters
You
to
say
say
both.
a mouthful. And I think part of the problem, as I see it, when I listen to us talk about living in the food desert and don't have a grocery store, and I remember I got a friend who lives in Joliet, and when I went out there, because that's where he lived, he took me out there. We took a back road to get out there. And he said, man, we don't even have a grocery store on our side. There's the east side and west side.
Okay.
And I say, even now, why do we have to wait for somebody of another color to open up a grocery store in our community when Naima just got you laying out? Go grow your own damn food.
Right.
Ain't nobody stopping you from growing your own food.
Right.
But y'all talking about y'all want somebody to open up a grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can take your money out of your community.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Makes no sense. You're right.
So I thank you, Naima, for putting it out there in the ethos, letting folks know you ain't got to worry about knock on somebody else's door to bring their capital into your community to sell you some bad food.
Right. I mean, you can just go to the store and just make sure you buy fruits and vegetables that have seeds.
Yes.
They can reproduce. We even showed how you can
there you go.
potatoes, and you can grow potatoes from the potatoes you get from the store. Same thing with carrots. You can grow carrots. You can grow onions. You can grow them with the existing onions. So the next time you grocery shop, think in terms of multiplying what you bought and making it more than what you had for absolutely free. We showed how you just cut off the root part, put it in the ground, it'll grow and multiply.
Yes.
Wow.
You got fruits that you buy. Don't get the seedless ones, get the ones with the seeds, because seeds means reproducing life. The reason why they keep giving you seedless stuff is so they can control who can control the food supply.
Yeah.
If you don't have seeds, you can't grow anything. So get the seeds. Don't worry about it. I don't want to be spitting down no watermelon. Just get the seeds.
and see, I'm an ordained minister. You know, everybody's got their way that they connect to the spiritual side of who they are. But the Bible says everything that He gave us, the trees, they were yielding seed. He said, so I'm looking at if it was created that way, why I'm going to change the script? Why do I want to change the script? He said, eat the food and the fruit thereof, yielding seed.
Right.
Obviously there was a reason for that.
Right.
So that we can replenish not just yourself, but also the soil.
Yes, absolutely.
And so whatever you take in, you got the seed. It might use it. The watermelon has a seed. You're not going to eat the watermelon seed, but something about the seed and the watermelon gives the watermelon such an essence of a vibrational frequency to when I'm taking that watermelon in. It ain't just juicy because I'm a black man drinking watermelon. No, it's got some nutrients to restore and keep my kidneys running right, flushing out my system. And then the very essence of it with the seed in it is supporting life more abundantly. Then you take that seed and put it back into the soil. It's going to give me some more watermelon.
Right.
Sense.
That's right.
Dr. Sunni,
why would the Creator tell you to do something and we do something else?
Right. I mean,
and then we want to know, well, how come everybody's sick? Excuse me? Because we don't follow the rules.
It's real simple.
We don't follow the script.
Yes.
And I thought about that word, they're advertising, for the seniors, especially baby boomer ages. All the commercials are for us because, they've been following us since the 40s, right?
Right.
They sold us some baby shoes. Then after that, they sold us some baby food, the Gerbers. Then after that, they started selling us bikes. I mean, they've been following baby boomers and making cash money off of
Yes.
up.
Every step
Okay,
of
so
the
now
way.
here we are in that age. Now the commercials is because they know we sick and dying. So you get that, take that, get your sex on, brothers, get that. Sisters, take this, and now they got some commercial. They got the women clapping and talking about take this pill, and it'll help you live a couple of more years longer because you didn't have breast cancer, and it's gonna give you a couple of more years. I mean, come on, foolishness, right? So the Medicare and all them commercials coming on, and they telling you how to either set yourself up for your funeral,
Right.
Yes.
get it cheap, buy it now because it's gonna be cheap. Because probably when you die in a year or two, it's gonna be higher. And then the other thing, they're gonna give you a discount on the prescription. So I thought about the word prescript. So I'm a teacher, right? So pre is a suffix.
Right.
So it's before script. So I'm gonna do something y'all say before the script that the creator gave me.
Come on now. Come on.
So prescription, because TION is action. So I'm gonna take your script before I use his script and take action on your script and take the pills and die before my 120. Because in Genesis 6:3 it says, even with your foolishness, I'll stay within you for 120 years.
Whoa.
Read that scripture.
Come on
Genesis
now.
6:3.
Your lifespan, 100.
And the people was going crazy, and they were living 600, 700, 800 years because of the telomeres. And I'll talk about that in the seminar. Telomeres in your DNA. Okay. But he said, even with y'all being crazy, I'm gonna stay around inside of you and offer my spirit to you for 120. Why I'm not even trying to do my 120?
See? Because we don't think we can do it.
Right.
We've been taught.
We don't think. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I tell people, your heart is a thinker, not so much your brain. Your heart has 40,000 nerve neurons in it. It has the capacity to think even without your brain.
That's right.
Okay? We don't know anything about this powerful vessel. It is so powerful. Even in your sickness, you can rise up.
Yes.
It's all you got to do is change your thinking. And then your RNA and your DNA is going to create a different message and a different code and trigger life back into you.
Come on now, sister. Tell us.
Yeah. Well, you know what Dr. Sunni is saying about the baby boomers. Now you think about this is the generation that they sold on the idea of the baby formula. So they would have us not get the immunities that come from breast milk. And instead, we're
there you go,
raised on baby formula. So now we already started out with a weakening immune system because we didn't get the natural immunities from our mothers.
There you go.
And then this processed baby food, all the nutrients processed out of it. We weren't blending up natural fruits and vegetables and giving them to our babies. We were giving them this dead, bland, processed, no nutrient food. So the generation that was raised on all that, and the sugary cereals. Don't forget the sugary cereals that marketed to us all Saturday when we watch our cartoons. So we full of sugar, full of all kinds of processed,
excessive salt.
Yes, except all
the meats were packed in salt.
Everything. So this was our diet. This is the baby boom generation diet. And so now, like she said, well, now we're sick and dying at the age of 60, which really should be a peak. That's really middle age. Because if your lifespan is really that 120, we really are middle age. If we had taken care of our bodies, but since they broke us down, now people are dying. 50s, 60s, and 70s.
And you're supposed to be vital till the end of your day, whatever day that is.
Right.
Hezekiah, they told him he was gonna die, get your house in order. He said, "Wait a minute, hold up, go back and ask him. I need 15 more." They gave him 15 more. He could have asked for 20, 25, but he was kind of slow thinking, so he only got asked for 15. But he gave him 15. So sometimes we can be with our face against the wall, and you can ask for some recovery, and he will give it to you. Okay. Yes. Now the other thing, what she said about this breastfeeding thing, if you notice, there was a nice little time. I think maybe it was 70s, 80s. They were giving women a bunch of cesareans.
Yeah.
Now, when a baby does not pass through the birth canal, it does not get the bacteria in its colon to support their immune system when it passes through and is delivered. So when they were taking the babies before it passed, they were automatically giving you a baby that had no immune tissue in his gut.
Oh,
no bacteria in his gut. Then they convince you not to put the baby to your breast to give him some more fortification of his immune system. So he came out weak.
Wow.
And then I could give you some sugary stuff and make you an addict. Weed, cocaine, none of them is more powerful than the sugar addiction.
That is,
sugar is the greatest addiction in this country.
Yes.
Wow.
When you break that, you can break anything.
Oh yeah.
And then you want to restructure your immune system in your gut tissue, and then all the way through the mouth to the anus. That is a whole canal that also has nerve and immune tissue, starting from here to the end.
Right.
But we're not, who got where that class at, except for mine. But you know what I'm saying? We need to have massive amounts of time to tell people what is necessary for them to maintain and sustain and regain good health. And if you want to deal with it, we got resources for you to deal with. If you don't, I'm doing just like Yahshua. Hey, he said, if the people don't receive you, guess what? Shake the dust and keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Okay.
So
don't waste a lot of time, because you ain't got a lot of time to waste. And what will happen eventually, some of them gonna come around, because he only had a few at some point. And the more he talked, and the more people paid attention, and the more they dealt with it and actually began to use what he was saying, next thing you know, he had a multitude.
Wow.
He didn't start with a multitude.
And that's why God said that the dead bury the dead.
Come on now.
Well, he wasn't talking about dead people. He talking about dead heads.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, should Dr. Sunni, should people wear face masks? And if so, is there a specific kind they should wear? Because we know
that they're moving us into a state of obedience. Okay. So if there's a virus, which you can have a flu. You can have a cold virus.
Yeah.
You can have a shingle virus. There's a lot of viruses. Okay.
Right.
So because the coronavirus, corona means crown, number one. So who crowned this virus? The king of viruses.
Oh.
Okay. That's what the word, it's a Spanish word. It means crown. So who gave it a crown?
Coronation. Right.
Okay.
Wow.
And set it into our community. So when it comes to the mask, because they're mandating slowly, so you can run like robots to whatever they say, they want you to don't be exposed. And I can understand that to a certain level. You go to the store, they won't let you in, all that. But when I hit the door, then I'm not keeping now they talking about they might want you to keep it on in my house. You know what I'm doing in my house? Oh, that's because they can see what's going on through your TV.
That's why you should cover your TV and cover your whatever. If it's not on, if you're not using it, turn it off.
Right.
Not only turn it off, unplug it.
Right. It's still charging.
If I'm not using it, I can unplug it, and now there's no juice coming through it, because they can, just like you see in the police thing where they can have you in the interrogating room, and you see that, and you don't look like nobody, and they watching your butt. That's what they're doing on the TVs and your computers. Close the sucker, unplug it.
Unplug it.
Because it has to have electricity. So that's another story. That's another seminar. So with the mask, because they want you to, be out, and they're mandating that now. They're trying to make it so, okay, fine. But what we found out, though, is that the different types of masks make a difference in your ability to absorb when someone is close to you. First of all, ain't no virus hanging outside waiting for you to come outside and jump on you. The nature of a virus has to have a human body to operate in. It has to have a host, like a parasite. So that means that if you have it, and I happen to be in close proximity to you, and we exchange fluids, just like the HIV virus, you had to exchange fluids to get it. They had you lying thing. If you put something down on the counter, if you sat by them, that was all a lie. And that was anyway.
Fear tactic,
all that. And see, God didn't give you a spirit of fear. Fear is not an emotion. Fear is a spirit. He said, I did not give you a spirit. Fear, I did not give you the spirit of fear. Fear, anger is an emotion. Excitability, a joy, that's an emotion, which is energy in motion. Fear is a spiritual deficit because you don't have enough faith in that which was given you to have dominion over this earth.
Woo!
It said Hebrew 11:1, huh?
Come on now.
And it's all over the scripture about faith. Okay.
Yeah.
But the spirit of fear is very detrimental to your immune system.
Yes.
It will bring your immune system down. Okay, so then they having you all scared. You walk in the store, somebody walking up. I ain't got no virus on my coat, woman, lady. Excuse me. It ain't on my coat.
Yeah.
It ain't out. It's not outside. Just kind of lingering. Here they come. Let's get them.
Waiting on you to walk past so he can jump on you.
It don't work that way. Okay, so I can kind of understand now. The better material, and you Google it or whatever. It's silk. Okay, silk. First of all, like Sister was talking about the oxygen and the exchange of carbon dioxide. It's creating a gas which is gonna turn into a liquid because oxygen is a gas, and then at some point it can be precipitated. So it can be a liquid. This is what oxygen in water is. H2O is oxygen and hydrogen. Period. Put it together. Now they can't do that in the laboratory. Only God can do that. That just lets you know how powerful water is. Why don't we don't drink enough? No, get the Master Bull, get the Red Bull, get the Green Bull, get the bullshit. That's what it is.
He said, "Get the bullshit.
Get all that. No, drink water. H2O, oxygen. It releases itself inside of you and gives you oxygen. But when you have that silk mask on, it's going to the water vapors can recycle into the air again, make it a gas again, so that you're not flooding yourself with more water. This is what a person with weak lungs breathing that back in drown.
Wow, that's why. Oh boy, I wish Anthony don't you wish that Dr. Sunni was on last week when Reed
you will drown in your grief. You will drown in your own liquid. It's really science.
Yeah.
Everything is science.
Yeah. Science.
So silk mask is going to give you a better opportunity to release your gas, the carbon dioxide, and then absorb oxygen free of it, because it's gonna the way it's made, because it's made by a silkworm, a worm. Oh. So it's animal. It's made by something living.
Right.
Okay. So then it's the microns are so small because a virus only has a certain amount of size. So the way that the worm created the silk is so that it can't even get through.
Wow.
So it penetrates and it knocks it back off. Okay. And then because you're not supposed to be wearing it all day.
Right.
Only when you're exposed to certain people or out in the crowd or whatever for your own safety. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna wear one, all this little crap. Now, so think about it. Because they promoted this and they brought this to particularly the global, so they can do some real shifting with the economy across the globe. Who making money on all these masks all over? Where that money going? See, we also have to think about some of this stuff from an economic standpoint, where they, shut down all our jobs and all that. But somebody making money, because the commercials don't stop. They still telling you, go buy you some Christmas stuff. Get online, order the
Right.
Well, a lot of the masks come out of China, and China has been wearing masks a long time because their pollution is so bad. So people have been walking around with masks as a way of life in China for a long time. And when I last year when I went there, and I'm on the subway train, and just seeing people sitting around with masks, and I'm like, what's up with this? And my niece who lives there, she said the pollution is so bad because they have all these factories. Because of course you look at the average stuff you go to the store and it has made in China. Yeah. So all the factories, they're constantly pushing out stuff and sending it abroad and polluting their air. So they're wearing masks, and they also manufacture masks. And a lot of people who are selling masks here ship them in from China because that's where so many of these masks.
We shipped ours in from Africa, the silk. Okay, so they're from our place.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a different brand, a different breed of mask that we got in from Africa, Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, and so you know, again, look at where things come from. Like the sister said,
Right.
the where things are coming from, and who are we supporting when we go and spend all our money on these different things?
Right.
And so, you know, they said, "Oh, go." A lady was telling me the other day on the Zoom with the school teachers. "Oh, you know, we locked down now." I said, "Locked down where, boo?" I can go outside now, go out to my car. I wouldn't. I make profound pound cakes. I use everything organic, everything original, all that, right? So I was going to get my ingredients. Baby, the cars was pulling up to Jennifer Lickers. Heading on in there. It's the weekend. I said, they ain't niggas ain't locked down. The grocery store. Walmart, cars full of stuff.
Yes.
I'm like, come on,
the liquor stores never closed or were never asked to close either.
The psych is so deep.
Really?
We buy the hype so quickly.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. But everybody lives by choices. Okay? Get the information, you make a change. And if you don't get the information, then ask for the this guy used to be when I was in high school. I used to went to Winter Phillips. So we was standing on the corner of 39th Street waiting for the jitney. And this brother was standing on the corner and he said, "Read your Bible. Ask God for the understanding, and He will give it to you." And he said that every day. And we would be on the corner sometime making fun of him and all that. And then when I grew up here,
yeah,
and I started understanding the word of God and started going into the ministry and everything, I'm like, that brother Planet is feeding me, because if you don't read something, you can never ask for the understanding because you ain't read it in the first place.
That's right.
Somebody's
So,
mic is open.
Read the labels on the boxes. Read the scripture. Read your favorite holy book. Read the science books. Read, and then ask for the understanding. You can't ask for no understanding on something you ain't read nothing about.
Dr. Sunni, that was so interesting. I mean, you just really bring that message in such a way that it's palatable. We understand that, you know, it's like we're being trained to follow the leader, wear the mask. Now that's a new industry now. The mask.
Oh yeah.
With advertisers, the hand sanitizer, wash your hands 20 seconds with the soap, the antibacterial soap, everything. You know, these are new commodities now.
Yeah.
But be safe. I would not say to anybody, don't be safe. Be safe. You should be doing those things anyway.
You should have been washing your hands.
Our hands.
Yeah.
You should be doing those things anyway.
People, be very careful about where you're getting this supposedly antibacterial sanitizers, because the alcohol kills your normal bacteria on your hands, making you more vulnerable to any bacteria, viruses, or microbes that's out there. So you got to be careful what you wash your hands with. Use everything you possibly can that's organic.
Yes.
That does not have a high level of alcohol.
Yes.
Because it gets into the skin. It dries it out, but it kills your own bacteria, and then it shortens your somatic nervous system under the skin that has a message to give to your brain, because all of your skin has sensory nerves, and it's sending a message to your spinal cord up to the brain to tell everything what's happening on the environment. We've got such a wonderful mechanism called the body. It's unreal.
It's unreal.
How it works.
Woo.
I mean,
so all that stuff on me, I'm killing my own communication system.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it. You're eating alcohol. How is that healthy? You know, the things that we're using to sanitize our hands, and we're putting food in our mouth with our hands. Why would you want to eat that? So your hands should be with soap and water and not hand sanitizer. If you're going someplace and you're out and you need to eat, ask them for a cup of water and rinse your hands with water.
Yeah.
I have a solution. It's got tea tree oil. It's got cloves. It has lemon, and it has the alkaline water. And when they be saying, "Oh, ma'am, you have to use the sanitizer," I said, "Excuse me." I pull it out of my bed and you're not giving me your poison. Sorry.
Right. Right.
And then they go, well, what was it? What they say? What was that? I said something that ain't killing me. You want to know more? Here's my card. Call me. Something that ain't killing me.
We have to take responsibility for our own lives and realize we are being programmed to just follow whatever we're told. They put this whole idea of vaccination heavy, getting people so full of fear that they dare not question it. And they're giving you this daily death toll. The mayor, the governor, every day they're giving you the death toll. Now, as many people as get shot dead, and they hadn't been raising panic about deaths every day. But now all of a sudden we're gonna keep you informed to the person how many died from the virus, and whether it's the virus or not, they're gonna say it's the virus because they died.
Right.
Yeah, there's actually some funding when they say if you came in and you died of a heart attack. And I have a personal friend whose grandmother went because she was having an aneurysm. She had just came from overseas, and traveled all over the place. Elderly lady, really, viral, just out there doing stuff. But she felt something was not right, and so she went. This was in New York because she had to come in through New York. She went in, and she's like, something ain't right. So they put her, of course, took her to the information and put her in the hallway. Well, that's all they did was put her in the hallway because they had so many. And so when she transitioned from the aneurysm, and they put on her death certificate, COVID related.
Wow.
And then it took the family, because you couldn't go to the hospital. It took the family 2.5 weeks to find her. They had taken her body and put it in a storage.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And they have been doing that with a lot of people. So now we're finding out that they're doing some things with people's bodies that shouldn't be done.
Probably
research.
Taking the organs, using our blood plasma, and everything else. There is some Frankenstein stuff going on.
But now
we hate to fathom that, but it is true that we need to find out what is happening to these people and why are they making everything related to COVID when you may have died from something else.
So are you getting some kind of funding for COVID related death?
Yeah, it's about money.
Yes.
It's all about money.
Yes, they'll get funding if the hospital can report so many cases of COVID people. So they're saying it's related. You didn't die.
Follow the money from A to Z.
In the COVID, we found traces of the virus in your body. We had to relate it to the COVID. But you let me sit in the lobby and have a heart attack.
Wow.
They're not servicing us. We had to bombard the emergency room. My sister fell off the porch. This was in April. And so she cracked her finger. Went to the emergency room. They would not, first of all, they wouldn't let her husband in there. And they had her, she was in pain, swelling up and everything. And so we kept calling the hospital emergency room. They were so sick of us calling the emergency room. So they was like, that lady that's her name, could y'all get her and do something with her and then get her out of here? Because we sick of her family calling every 20 minutes, every 5 minutes.
That's what you gotta do.
Because they was not servicing her. But it could have been internal bleeding, bone broth causing a vessel to be clogged or something, backing up, and then she has another issue, and they say, boom, she died. Another victim.
Yeah.
What are they doing to us? So I tell everybody, please don't go to the hospital.
Stay out of the hospitals. If you want to stay out of the hospital.
Find some way, somebody with some knowledge about how to help you fortify your body.
Yeah.
Yourself together. Buckle down with your word, whatever that is for you.
Yes.
Have faith and believing that the Creator did not give us this. We gave it to ourselves.
Yeah.
We left our communities vulnerable and our families as well as our own self.
Yes.
And when we do that, things will disappear in the twinkling of an eye.
In the twinkling of an eye. Boy.
It can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Yes.
But it takes a collective, and it don't take a whole bunch, a collective body of minds coming together, understanding that, and then we can go back and tell the soil to give us what we need, like the sister said.
All right.
Take over some of these lands and these vacant lots and stuff like that. Your own backyard, your own windowsill, whatever that is you got. He said, take a little bit and I'll make a lot with it. Show me a little bit. I'll make a lot with it.
All right. All right. So, hey, the silk masks are the way to go.
Yes.
And
They're the better ones. Yes.
they come from Africa, and they're made from material that helps us eliminate the carbon monoxide that we exhale.
Right. And then it doesn't, you won't absorb the outside chemicals that could come in, because the way that the silkworm manufactures and makes the silk, and so that it's so tight, the microns of the virus can't get through.
Okay.
But the vapor coming from out of you can be restructured back into something that's useful, while it lets you get rid of your carbon dioxide, and it doesn't come back into your body. We're making more fluid in your lungs that's already weak, probably anyway.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
And it was made by an animal source, or a source that's live. It's made by a living source.
Okay.
It's not some synthetic material.
Okay.
God gives us everything. All the resources are here for us. We have to ask. And then when we ask, do our homework, collectively come together, take a few dollars, whatever few dollars we got, put them together, and then, do like you said, look and find out where's this source coming from, unify ourselves, and make some things happen. I did a workshop with some young people and some social workers or whatever downtown one day. And so they was having people break up into groups and this and that. And so they said they had, given us, take this word and throw this word out and give us some. So they gave me the word community.
Okay.
There's a bunch of Caucasians and some other folks and some Asians and a few of us. I said, take the word. I wrote it on the board. COMMUNITY. Okay. I said, look at this word. Show me the word that stands out immediately from this word. When you look at the word community.
Okay.
One word that's in there, as soon as you look at it, the word unity pops up.
Okay.
And then if you think about it, when you're dealing with compound words or whatever, you might not see the full word, but common is built in there.
Okay.
Common, unity.
Okay.
And then right in the middle of those two words are three letters that are so important. The letter U, the letter N, and the letter I. Common unity between you and I.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, Dr. Sunni.
When we understand what community really is, and we come together in a force united with what we know to be true, and we begin to raise our consciousness up and replenish our soil and regenerate our bodies with everything that God offers us, we will see a community.
It is.
Come on. There it is. Oops. Up. There it is. That's it. That's it. I'd like to welcome the guests to the show. I'm sorry, I can't see.
Deborah Smith.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Yes, it's Deborah. I'm fine.
Oh, Deborah, I couldn't even see you, girl. Thank you for coming to the show. How are you?
Fantastic. I would have missed the plane if I hadn't got here. I'm so late. The plane took off without me.
Oh, girl, listen, Dr. Sunni been blowing us up.
I see.
No, this is right here now. She the one I told her she gave me a platform, man. She started me off on. She put a fire up under my little tootsie wootsie.
She was going. Deborah, you got any questions for her?
Yes, I'm past COVID. I want to know when the cancer vaccination coming around.
Yeah.
The vaccination for cancer. They've been working on that for many years, right?
And they can't do that. That'll mess up their money flow.
And cancer is big business.
Yes, it is. Big business.
They don't want it to be gone. They want to continue to treat it.
Yes.
That's what the medical society is all about. Treatment.
Right. Treatment.
They practice on you and I to establish their treatment protocols.
That's why it's called a practice.
That's right. That's right. You better believe it.
Society was formed by a group of rich white guys over in the Gold Coast in Chicago. They went and hired a gentleman who lived in London. His name was Alexander Flexner. He was good for making fraudulent IDs. He also had a house that he was actually doing abortions in the basement, and he was excellent by being able to change paperwork to make it look legit. And the Rockefellers and a few others hired him to come to the U.S. in order to create something around perpetuating the illnesses of people and promote this cancer thing. So they created a society, and they said we can raise lots of money through this society by not telling the people how their bodies actually, when your cells, you have a certain amount of cell lifespan, and it dies off. So it's sort of between a living and dead. But then another one, a daughter cell, is being manufactured. But if we can poison this one, then when that comes, when it's time to die off and be recycled by your spleen, it can begin to be a negative barrel, like a bad apple in a cart with a bunch of good apples. It'll destroy the new cell coming along. This is what cancer was all about. So they said we can do this and promote some other stuff, and then make it so that we can promote more of these cells, and then we can say, oh, this thing called cancer came from up high or wherever, and it's poisoning us. And so they raised a lot of money around it, and they liked it. That was their fundraiser, and they kept perpetuating and feeding into it. And this is how it started, all with the deceptions and lies, while they were screwing some white girls over on at the Gold Coast in a big old mansion over there.
See, all this stuff, all these diseases.
Abraham Flexner, he the one that they created. They hired him to go and retrain medical professors and whatnot. Back then, this was back in like 33, 32, right around the time that they was negotiating some stuff with the war and everything. I mean, all this is about cash money. It ain't got nothing to do with your health, nothing to do with the maintenance of a person's ability to stay alive. Nothing.
And you know what's so germane about that point? They showed on the news a mama, a daddy, and a son all had their own cancer foundation raising money.
Wow.
And CNN broke the story about them. And people were sending these folks money like crazy.
Wow.
And what's the guy on CNN? Anderson Cooper.
Ooh.
He asked the dude, you say you're raising all this money for cancer, but the records show you're not giving the money to the people who need the money.
Wow.
And that's how he got busted. So she's so correct. These cancer foundation, it's all about raising money.
That's deep.
And see, I'm 90 years old, and it's been going on for 90 years.
And just think all the natural things that are growing right out of the ground for absolutely free.
Yes.
Help you to battle cancer and overcome and prevent you from getting cancer.
That's about the same time that they determined cannabis was to be illegal too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All of it together at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cannabis was the medicine.
Yeah. And they made it illegal. And then we made so much money off of it. They said, oh, they're making money off of it. We got to find a way to control it.
Yeah.
Now it's legal, but only certain people have the permission to sell it.
Yeah.
So they make sure they
And
control.
the hemp plant the seed that makes the marijuana plant, it only takes 5 months for it to come to maturity. And it has about 50 different industrial uses besides medicinal purposes.
Yeah. A lot of things are made out of hemp. Yes.
Yeah, some of the boats that they came over here and stole our land was made with hemp.
Right.
We got 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's everybody give a closing statement. We've gone over a little bit, but we started late, so it's okay.
Well, as the only king on here with all you beautiful queens, let me wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow, because we do have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we do.
But also, let me say this to the folks that's out there going to be watching this over and over. If you got relatives who live in Georgia, tell them to get out and vote so we can take control of the Senate.
All right now.
Come on now, drink it. There you go. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, get out and vote just because you have that right. You know, folks went through a lot to have that right to be given to us. We might only have it for a little while. You know, that's still one of the laws that have to be revisited every so many
25 years.
Yeah. So, you know, in order for you to change what you don't like, you have to get involved.
Amen.
You have to get involved. Yes. Be thankful. Be thankful every day. You know, not just these Hallmark holidays.
Yes.
Be thankful every day. Because we are truly blessed, and we in the blessing business. So share the opportunities, share the information, save a life. Just smile, and you can save a life.
Come on now.
That's right. Save a life, and don't give away your power to live. Breathe air every day. Go outside. Unmask your face around these trees so they can give you oxygen and you can give them carbon dioxide. Make that exchange. Walk and enjoy the sunlight. Strengthen your body and feel the freedom, because nobody can confine you. And you are free to enjoy the earth. And so enjoy your freedom and be thankful for all you have. And like our sister just said, share. And the earth is giving us everything we need for absolute freedom.
So when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Now that is spoken from a very wise woman, and that sounds like the slogan that I would like to use to close with. Thank you all for joining me this evening. This has been a very, very vital discussion. I really appreciate all the input, because COVID-19 is killing folks left and right. And if we just shift our paradigm, our mindset, and realize who we are, we can live off the earth like God created it for us to live off of. So join us, because we're a new group. We're a group of long livers. We're going to live off the fruit of the land like we were supposed to. Be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining. See you next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Bye-bye.
See you
then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks.